In this episode of Alien Agenda, Colonel Gene explores the extraordinary technological growth over the past 80 years. He questions whether this surge in innovation could be linked to extraterrestrial influences, particularly after World War II. Join Gene as he delves into the idea that reverse-engineered alien technology might have accelerated advancements like microchips, night vision, and more. Tune in for an intriguing look at technology's mysterious origins. Here's your man, Gene.
Today, we will take a look at the rapid growth in technology during the past 80 years. What has caused this explosion in knowledge and technology? And could it be in any way credited to the infusion of knowledge from beyond planet Earth? Let's take a look at this phenomenon that has created a seismic change in all of our lives. Ray Kurzweil, in his book, The Age of Spiritual Machines, discusses the ability of today's computers to exceed the memory and computational ability of the human brain. Think of that, folks. Mr. Kurzweil is a highly accomplished inventor, futurist, and author. He invented such things as the first flatbed scanner, optical character recognition, and speech synthesizer. In 2012, he became the director of engineering at Google. Now we are looking at the development of a thing called a quantum computer that can solve a problem in 1 second that it would take 10,000 years to solve with the computers we have in 2024. This is but one example of what is taking place in the growth of technology. At the current rate of discovery, we will add the equivalent of 20,000 years of knowledge in the next century. Let's take a look at some of the things that have been taking place and the possible connections to extraterrestrials. World War II is credited with the development of a number of technological advances, such as radar, high-performance aircraft, and of course, nuclear energy. However, many other amazing developments appeared beginning in the early 60s. In 1961, a Lieutenant Colonel Philip Carzo was assigned to head the Foreign Technology Department in the Office of Army Research and Development at the Pentagon. Carzo had served on General MacArthur's staff in Korea and later on the National Security Council during the administration of Dwight Eisenhower, whom he knew personally. Lieutenant Colonel Carzo reported directly to a Lieutenant General Arthur G. Trudeau, head of the Army Research and Development Office. According to Carzo's book, The Day After Roswell, he had heard a lot about Roswell and the tales of highly sensitive materials uncovered at the crash site. While he was not present at this event, he was given access to the materials allegedly from the Roswell incident. After arriving at the Pentagon, Carzo was given access to a locked file cabinet that was in the corner of General Trudeau's office. Trudeau told Carzo that he was going to be responsible to oversee and utilize the information in this cabinet. After that meeting, the cabinet was moved to Carzo's office, and among some of the things in the cabinet was an autopsy report that went into excruciating details on the study performed on the extraterrestrial bodies retrieved from the Roswell crash in 1947. The bodies were described as approximately 4 to 4.5 feet tall, with large heads and big eyes. The color was a gray tone, and the texture of the skin was like that of a dolphin. The internal organs were very different from humans, and their bones were stronger and more flexible than human bones. The descriptions in medical terms from these autopsies went into great detail about the structure of the gray humanoids that were discovered at Roswell. Among the items in the cabinet that Colonel Carzo found was some cloth that was apparently the uniforms of the UFO aliens, a device that looked like a modern laser pointer, a metallic band that had some sort of strange properties when you put it on that could have been around the head of the extraterrestrials, filaments similar to the contemporary fiber optic strands that we use today, a piece of technology resembling a circuit board like the modern day computers use, a thin film that when you looked through it, it provided daytime vision in the dark. It did not take Carzo long to determine that along with the documents that was in this cabinet, most of these things came from the Roswell crash site and had been preserved and safeguarded for the last 14 years. The general later informed Corzo that he was to take and develop plans to utilize the information and materials in that cabinet with corporations that were doing business with the United States government. They wanted to allow corporations to re-engineer and look at the technology in an attempt to develop useful items for the military. There was, however, a significant concern surrounding these materials and the reverse engineering technology getting into the hands of foreign adversaries. Over the next 2 years, Corzo began working with the United States government contractors to find the best ones suited to reverse engineer the items in that cabinet. At the time, the United States had existing contracts with companies such as Bell Labs, International Business Machines, both of whom were provided, for example, the circuitry and the thin glass filament that was in Corzo's cabinet. According to Corzo, the time spent reverse engineering these items in the cabinet either spearheaded the development or accelerated the development of the following technologies: integrated circuits, otherwise known as microchips; Kevlar vests from the fabric that the extraterrestrial wore; focused energy or directed energy weapons, as well as laser weapons; lasers used to transmit data and record things; night vision technology, probably from the thin film that Corzo found in the cabinet; fiber optic technology used to improve internet speeds; and mind-controlled devices. And those are the only ones that Corzo listed in his book. The headband, for example, which was reportedly, when used, provided a strange reaction to the wearer, was used by the U.S. Air Force to develop the helmets for the F-35 pilots. These helmets allow the F-35 pilot to look freely around, actually through their jets, for a full 360-degree view of their surroundings while in flight. The helmet also allows them to control the jet through its heads-up display, on top of giving the pilots full day and night capability. Similar technology is used on the AH-64 Apache helicopter, whose helmets allow the pilots to have similar heads-up displays as well as full control of the nose gun. The Apache nose gun can follow the gunner's line of sight, matching an angle and direction for accurate shots on target. In the 1960s, these helmets would have been considered in the realm of science fiction, but nowadays they have become a reality. Other materials were similar to those supposedly used by the Germans toward the end of World War II in their attempt to develop an anti-gravity craft, Die Glocke, or the Bell. The idea was that the Roswell craft that crashed was operated by creating its own gravitational pocket, allowing it to accelerate and change directions in ways that defy Earth's gravity. Such a method would also explain the pilot's ability to stay alive during such maneuvers, provided they had a similar physiology and constraints as humans. If Nick Cook, the author of Hunt for 0 Point, is to be believed, the Bell that has the capability of such amazing feats, been developed by the Germans, it might have been a serious problem to maintain air superiority toward the end of World War II. This German technology was acquired by the United States at the end of the Second World War, and it was believed that in the 1960s, the United States began working on anti-gravity aircraft. It is possible that some of the contents of Corzo's filing cabinet, where parts were taken and scavenged from the World War II experiments, along with the things retrieved from Roswell. It is also possible that the United States government and the Nazis both had possession of crashed extraterrestrial material that they then experimented upon and reverse engineered. General Trudeau clearly instructed Corzo to reverse engineer the Roswell technology in order to advance the United States technology development and weapons for defense. The end goal was not just to defend the United States against foreign enemies like the Soviet Union, but potentially against extraterrestrials as well. Such caution is just as prudent today as it was in the 1960s, where extraterrestrials, with their capabilities to attack the United States or the world, we might have little or no defense against their actions. Fortunately, so far they have only been concerned with observation. However, these visitors from other space locations possess knowledge and technology far beyond anything we can understand. While the lasers and directed energy beam weapons have proven useful, the question is, would they be effective against any extraterrestrial technology? Another area that was developed is the integrated circuits, and the use of silicon electronics jumped after 1961, enabled computers that used to take up a whole room to be held in the palm of your hand. As of 2023, Intel and other companies are working on moving to glass substitute processors, which has the potential to accelerate the power of computers processing even more. Glass was previously the computing medium only considered in science fiction, seen in the books and movies like Star Trek, Star Wars, and Minority Report. If what Colonel Kurzweil wrote is true, it is possible that the efforts could be traced back to technology that the United States took from Roswell, or that the Germans were working on at the end of World War II. Here we have another very credible bit of evidence about how this rapid technology might be connected to alien visitations. I hope you have found this episode informative and will give you more reason to consider the premise that we are not alone. Please tell your friends about Alien Agenda, and if anyone would like to share their firsthand experience with UFOs, please contact my publicist, Deborah Wallace. Until next time, this is Colonel Gene saying, be safe.
Are they out there? Takes you on a thrilling journey through the mysteries of the universe, from ancient sightings to the infamous Roswell incident and shocking revelations from recent congressional hearings. This book uncovers the most convincing evidence of UFOs and alien life. Don't miss out. Grab your copy now on our website or Amazon and discover if we're truly alone in the cosmos.